When you think of a great wine, do you think of California's Sonoma Valley? Well, how about Pennsylvania? Many are unaware that the Great Lakes region, which encompasses Ohio, Pennsylvania, and upstate New York, is really wine country. This region produces some of the best sweet and dessert wines available. So today we're going to visit a major regional wine event, Wine on the Lake, organized by Lilly Broadcasting of Northwestern Pennsylvania. Then we'll take some of those wines back to the kitchen to make some wonderfully sweet but healthy fruity desserts. The LECOM Healthy Living Kitchen is healthy cooking done tastefully. Let's get cooking. Hi, I'd like to welcome Pam Forsyth, the General Manager of Lilly Broadcasting, and also Margaret Lawrence, who is the Marketing Coordinator for Wine on the Lake and all the events that Lilly Broadcasting does. And thank you for being here today with us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. I'd like to find out a little bit more about Wine on the Lake, one of your big events for the year. Margaret, how many years has Lilly Broadcasting been the sponsor for Wine on the Lake?
This was our 8th year in 2013, and we had about 4,000 guests over 2 sessions. It was about the largest audience that we've had to date, and it was a wonderful event. 25 wineries.
Beautiful.
Offering samples and sales by the bottle. And then we had about 45 to 50 other vendors with a lot of unique gifts, people with handmade cigars, gourmet cheeses. You could get wine slushies. It was shop for jewelry. It was a very nice event, very nice event.
So how did the concept for this event begin?
Well, this is one of 4 events that Lilly Broadcasting hosts, and they had one in Elmira, New York, for 12 years. So when they moved to Erie, they started this event, and it's in support of the local wine industry and to give back to the community. I think it's a really great opportunity to showcase local businesses and promote the wine industry, and we're fortunate to be able to do that.
So was it always in March or in spring, I guess? And that's my first question. And also, did it start off 8 years ago at the Bayfront Convention Center?
I think that's where I need to probably jump in, if you don't mind. It did not start out at the Bayfront Convention Center. It started out at the Avalon, and Brian Lilly and the Lilly family purchased WSEE TV, and had a very successful event in Elmira, New York called Wine on Ice, and realized that Erie did not have an event like that, and it was successful, and people enjoyed going, and we're starting to get used to it in Elmira, so he brought the concept here and built on that concept, and again started at the Avalon on a smaller scale, and in 8 years it has outgrown the Avalon and has gone to the Bayfront Convention Center. When we moved down there, I believe 3 years ago, we started in a smaller area of the convention center, and now we have grown to using the whole entire building. So.
Pam, I had a feeling you were going to tell me that it has grown and expanded to where you are now. You mentioned the Lillys, who are the founders or owners of Lilly Broadcasting, and from what I read, they're from Montecito, California.
So, George Lilly is from Montecito.
Okay, and
is
so is the subject of wine close to their heart? Is that something that they're passionate about, that they're spreading into the footprint where they have businesses?
I believe that's probably a great way of expressing that.
Okay.
And Brian is also from the New York area, so in the Finger Lakes area where they have wonderful wine vineyards, and they are, I think, connoisseurs of wine, I would say.
Do you see any changes or additions to Wine on the Lake?
It is different this year, thanks to Margaret Lawrence, who has come on as our event coordinator. It has the same basic concept, but Margaret has taken it to another level. It's just wonderful, and has made it more of a cozy atmosphere rather than a trade show atmosphere. We have wonderful ice sculptures and an ice bar and entertainment, and it's not only just coming and trying wine, but it's an event that you want to come and bring a date or your
Nice.
the girls or mom even, it's just a fun time to come and sit down and listen to a little music, walk around, drink a little wine, just have a great time and shop.
Excellent. I look forward to next year's, absolutely.
We look forward to having you.
Thank you, thank you. I guess just maybe we can end on this note now. I grew up in the Erie, Pennsylvania area, and I'm not that familiar with Lilly Broadcasting. So can you tell our viewers out there who Lilly is? And we talked about him briefly a little bit. But
Absolutely.
Thank you.
There's Brian Lilly and Kevin Lilly that are brothers, and George Lilly is the dad, and they own between all of them SJL Broadcasting as well as Lilly Broadcasting. Lilly Broadcasting we're proud to say that we're a locally owned company. Brian lives in town in Erie. He cares about Erie. He loves Erie. We now have WSEE, WICU, the CW, and out of Erie, Pennsylvania, we're proud to say that we also have the One Caribbean Weather Channel. Starting out, it was One Caribbean Weather Channel. Now it's One Caribbean TV, because it is not only weather but also news that we provide to the Caribbean.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, thanks Lily and Margaret and Pam for putting on Wine on the Lake, and I just encourage all of our viewers out there, when it comes that time of year again, to please come down and visit us at Wine on the Lake. Well, I really enjoyed Wine on the Lake this year, and I was inspired to try a couple of dessert recipes using dessert or sweet wines. So the first recipe we're going to do today is a roasted pear, and instead of heavy whipping cream to serve it with, I thought I'd try like a sweetened Greek yogurt that I add a little bit of vanilla beans. So it's a pretty basic recipe. We have a roasting pan, and I'm going to put a little bit of vegetable spray just to coat it, but I am also going to add some softened butter, not very much, couple tablespoons, but that will add nice flavor to the pears. And again, this serves I have 4 pears that I'm using. I'm using red pears. I have 3 red pears and 1 d'Anjou pear. So that's because we didn't have 4 red pears, but we're gonna try it and see what it's like. Okay, so I just lightly buttered the pan and I peeled the pears. And what I'm gonna do next is, you can see I kept the stem on the pear. I thought it would look pretty for serving. I'm gonna go ahead and not cut off my finger, I hope. This is not the Halloween episode that we were just talking about. I just cut these in half. I don't have a melon baller handy, but what I'm using is my teaspoon, measuring spoon, and I'm just cutting out the center just like that. And you can also see the core end. I'm just gonna kind of cut right down and get that core end off. And I'm gonna put it right into the roasting pan that's already prepared. I'm gonna do that with the remaining pears. And again, I did peel these, and because I peeled these about a half hour ago, I just wanted to be sure that they didn't start to oxidize and turn brown. So I took a half of a lemon and I just rubbed them lightly so they wouldn't do that. Again, I'm gonna cut these in half and take the core out of them. And pears are such a great fruit. If you do buy them for your home, or if you don't really buy them and you want to start trying them, I recommend that you buy a few, put some out on the table, and they'll be ready to eat in a day or two. And then keep some in the refrigerator. When you're getting ready to eat the first batch, pull the other ones out. But fruit really is best, pears are best eaten room temperature. Actually, I think all fruit is really best eaten room temperature. So there's a little hint for you. Again, the last 2, go ahead and cut through. There we go, pour those. Now this is a very old and traditional recipe, just roasted pears. I'm not exactly sure where it originated. I know in France, studying in France, we made these, as well as poached pears. I know in England, they eat roasted pears like this. So I'm sure every country has a variation of it, but it's pretty simple. Pears are typically available year-round. This would be a nice dessert in any time of year, but really in the fall, winter, spring, before all the nice spring fruit comes out. And like I said, I lightened it up a little bit. We're gonna do a Greek yogurt with it instead of heavy whipping cream. So I have those in here in the roasting pan, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drizzle a little bit of honey over the top. So let me move this up here so you can see. Move this out of the way, and I'm just gonna go and drizzle about a teaspoon of honey over the top of each one. And I mean, they look beautiful just like this. There we go. I think that is perfectly fine. The honey smells great. And I have some Moscato or Muscat wine, which is a sweet dessert wine. And I'm gonna go ahead and put about a half a cup on top. And it's made with a red Muscat wine, grape. Go ahead and put that on top. And we're gonna put it into a 375-degree oven and roast these. And about halfway through, I'll check them and use a spoon and baste the pears. But look how beautiful they look just now. I'm almost tempted. If I had a sprig of rosemary, I'd put it on top. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the oven. So now I'm gonna make the flavored Greek yogurt that's gonna be served with the with the roasted pears. And I have some plain Greek yogurt here. And I have some like stevia sweetener. You could use sugar or any other kind of favorite low-cal sweetener that you like. I'm gonna put that in. And then I'm also gonna add some fresh vanilla. And these are fresh vanilla beans. And if you've never used them, you go to the grocery store, they can be expensive. You could use vanilla extract in here as well, probably about a teaspoon. But since I have the vanilla beans and I love them and the flavor is just amazing, what I'm doing is I'm taking a thin knife and I'm slitting it down lengthwise. I'm just gonna use half of the vanilla bean, and it seems a little tedious, but inside this vanilla bean are all these wonderful little vanilla bean seeds that I'm gonna scrape out with the tip of my paring knife. Doesn't look like much. And now please do not throw these vanilla beans away when you're done, because you can reuse these time and time again. You can actually make custard sauce or use it in different sauces, or a sugar syrup as a base. And you can take them off, rinse them well, and dry them out, put them back in the container, and use the vanilla bean again. I probably use my vanilla beans maybe 3 times, so before I toss them. So again, they are not a cheap date, so get your money's worth. And really, all I got out of here looks to be about 1/4 teaspoon. But if you've ever had vanilla bean ice cream, you know what I'm talking about. You'll see all the little vanilla beans in here. And once we mix all that up well, oh yeah. So traditionally, these roasted pears, like I mentioned, are served when they come out of the oven and they're warm, and just people would drizzle just heavy whipping cream, which is a very delicious way to serve these poached pears. But I thought, just to make it a little bit lighter, healthy, we have good calcium and protein from this yogurt. This is a nice variation on it. Could also serve like an ice milk, or vanilla ice milk, or something like that, or just have them plain. I'm gonna put some toasted almonds on top. Let me go ahead and just taste that. That's good. Yes, I like that. So, just to let you know, I took some sliced almonds, put them in the oven, and toasted them just for about 4 to 5 minutes on about 375. They came out a nice golden brown, and we're gonna garnish the poached pears with those. So the roasted pears just came out of the oven, and I am just gonna baste them one more time. They took about 30 minutes or so. You want them to be tender and have a nice golden brown, just like these do. So we could just go ahead and plate these up. Oh, they look beautiful. This one, look how beautiful that is. With the stem on it, I'm gonna take some of the juice and put it right on top and around. Lovely. And I want to get some of the yogurt And again, I had this in the refrigerator, so it's the vanilla yogurt, lightly sweetened. I'm gonna go ahead and just put a dollop of that on the side, just like that, and some toasted almonds, and you have a delicious, healthy dessert for you and your family. Roasted pears with a Muscat dessert wine and a vanilla yogurt, so enjoy. People in the U.S. do a lot of eating out on Valentine's Day and the other 364 days of the year. Most diners do have a safe meal. However, more than half of foodborne outbreaks involved food prepared in a restaurant or deli setting. When you get to a restaurant, look at how clean things are before you even sit down. Are the glasses, silverware, napkins, and tablecloths clean? Is the floor free of bits of food and debris? If not, consider eating elsewhere. If available, check the results of the restaurant's latest health inspection. Not going to finish that? Get that doggy bag in the fridge fast. If you will not be arriving home within 2 hours of being served, it's safer to leave the leftovers at the restaurant. Also remember that the inside of a car can get very warm, so any food left inside may be affected. Bacteria grows rapidly in temperatures above 40 degrees, so it's always safer to go directly home after a meal and put your leftovers in the refrigerator. So I thought I'd try something different. I tried this at home with my family and friends because I wanted to find another recipe using a sweet dessert wine. So this is a honeydew soup, and when honeydew is in season, this is a great way to incorporate the delicious fruit as well as a sweet wine and make a lovely dessert. I would recommend serving this dish with. First I thought, well, it could be a ladies who lunch dish, and it could be a soup when you get a group of women together. But I actually think that after I made it, that it would be really nice as a dessert and served with a cheese board. That's why I have an array of cheeses out here. So the first thing you want to do is to peel and chop up your honeydew melon. So you do that by cutting off the top and the bottom. It just makes slicing, flying honeydew peel, makes slicing all that much easier. And you just take your knife down the side to take the skin off. And once we have it all peeled, we're going to cut it in half, and we're going to take out the seeds. This is one quick way to peel a melon. And actually, when melons are in season, they're pretty much always available, but it is nice. My kids love it when I take these melons, bring them home, do exactly this, cut them into cubes, and just have big bowls, big chunks of honeydew and cantaloupe and watermelon just ready to go in the refrigerator. So it's a nice, easy, healthy snack, very little prep. All right, so now that I have taken the peel off, I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. And I'm going to take a spoon and just take out the seeds. And this is a nice firm honeydew. I can tell it's sweet, but it's not too overripe or anything. So take the seeds out there. And you could probably do this with cantaloupe and even strawberries. I've had and made strawberry soup before too. So along the same lines, and it's just an alternative to a heavy, rich dessert. Something different, something fun. Try it. Just cutting these into chunks. And once they're cut, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the blender here. This will just put those in. All right. And do the same thing to the other side. And this was one medium honeydew. And I would say it's probably about 8 cups of honeydew. There we go. cut those into maybe smaller pieces. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to save the rest of this for my kids. And I'm just going to fill up the blender to that point. I'm going to juice some limes to get about 3 tablespoons of lime juice. And again, when you're working with citrus fruits and you want to make sure that you wash them first, and then to get the juice out of them, just roll them on a hard surface, and I can feel that it's already I can feel the juice rolling around in there. So I'm going to go ahead, cut this in half. Ooh, this is a nice juicy lime. They don't tend to have as many seeds as lemons. And I'm going to go ahead and get the juice out. All right. And I'm going to do the other half too, because it does call for about 3 tablespoons. Now, I have made this recipe. The last time I made it, I used an ice wine. Now, ice wine is made from grapes that are picked once the frost has come and they're frozen. It's very sweet, very delicious, a lot of legs in that wine. But it's not the cheapest wine out there. So I got a nice local Niagara wine, sweet wine, and I can smell the Concord grapes in this wine when I open it. And I tasted it. It's a nice wine, nice sweet wine. I'm going to go ahead and add the lime juice, about 3 tablespoons, and about a half a cup of the sweet dessert wine. There we go. And I'm also going to add a 1/4 cup of fresh mint. And this really kind of adds a nice twist to this recipe. And we are just going to go ahead and blend it. It's as simple as that. So let's see. You want it to be pureed all the way through. And what I'm looking for is to make sure the mint leaves inside here are small and well blended. So let me take a look at that. Ooh, oh my gosh, that color is beautiful. So now what I would do if I was making this to serve guests, I would probably just refrigerate this until I'm ready to serve it. But let me just make sure. Delicious, very fresh tasting. You know what? I think I'm going to add a little bit more honeydew, just to richen it up a little bit. So here we go. I was afraid it was going to blow the top on this if I added too much. So let me try it again. I think we have it. Move this to the side and we are ready to serve. Let me see. Again, if you are making this, I would go ahead and refrigerate this for a couple hours until you're ready to serve it. But for today's purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and ladle it up. Wait till you see this gorgeous color. It is beautiful. The mint is a nice addition. And the white sweet wine is delicious as well. I'll go ahead and add that. So who'd have thunk? Honeydew soup, but it's a nice fresh alternative to a heavy dessert. And I think I even have a fresh mint sprig right here. I do. Keep your herbs, especially something like mint, in ice water like I did here. Keep fresh and perky. Go ahead and so please enjoy the local dessert wines, the sweet wines, and make something new and different. You never know what you'll find. Enjoy.
Get your recipes today at cookhealthytoday.com.